What's up guys, David here, and the championship matchup we have all been waiting for is finally here, where the OnePlus 6T will defend OnePlus's reign as the PhoneBuff style speed test champ against easily the #1 contender in the iPhone XS Max. Taking a look at the spec sheets, both of these phones are packing a punch. The iPhone is powered by Apple's A12 Bionic chip and 4GB of RAM, while the OnePlus 6T has pretty much the same specs that we saw in the OnePlus 6 with a Snapdragon 845 and 8GB of RAM. But what's different is it's now running on Android 9.0, and with the 6T, OnePlus baked in their new Smart Boost technology, which takes advantage of all that extra RAM to cache apps for faster boot up times. So it'll be interesting to see if the OnePlus 6T can challenge the iPhone in the first lap, and if the 4GB of RAM on the iPhone will be enough to compete with the 8GB on the 6T. Will the 6T remain undefeated, or will the iPhone XS Max become the new PhoneBuff style speed test champ? Let's find out. This episode is sponsored by Nordic Vpn, the first VPN to receive Ookla's recommended badge for its fast connection speeds. With NordVPN, you can encrypt your internet connection to keep your online activity safe from hackers and private from ISPs. NordVPN has a strict no data logging policy so you can browse anonymously, an automatic kill switch for extra security, and over 5,100 servers across 62 countries so you can access content that isn't available in your home country. Use the link below to get NordVPN for 75% off and get an additional month for free when you use offer code PhoneBuff. Alright, we'll get this championship matchup underway by starting the stopwatches on each phone and then jumping into the first row, where the OnePlus 6T pulls ahead right out of the gates, loading both Facebook and Starbucks at a faster rate. Going into Microsoft Word, it looks like the iPhone was able to erase the OnePlus 6T's early lead, taking the lead for itself as it moves on to Excel, with the 6T falling just a split second behind it. But with the iPhone also loading Excel at a faster rate, it's able to improve on its lead as it moves on to the second row, taking a selfie and now working on editing that selfie by adding a filter and exporting the image out to storage. While the iPhone has been able to create a little bit of separation for itself, the OnePlus 6T has actually done a good job at not falling too far behind, but at the same time, the 6T isn't making up any ground here in Premiere, allowing the iPhone to further improve on its lead as it just blazes through the browser test and moves on to the gaming row, which is where historically, the iPhone has outright dominated the competition. So it'll be interesting to see how much of a difference that new Smart Boost feature on the OnePlus 6T can actually make. If it can at least minimize how far the iPhone pulls ahead of the 6T here in the gaming row, the OnePlus has a real shot at making it come back not just later in the second lap, but as early as the last few apps in the first. And so far, it looks like the OnePlus 6T is holding its own. While it didn't load Subway Surfers or flip diving at a faster rate, it also didn't load those games significantly slower either, which is something you couldn't say about some of the other phones that we've tested. As the iPhone XS Max finishes up with Spotify and starts working on ESPN, the OnePlus 6T is working on the last game here in Bullet Force, loading the game just a hair slower than the iPhone and then just ripping through Spotify. As the 6T moves on to ESPN, the iPhone finishes up with Amazon, finishing the first lap with a time of 1 minute and 47 seconds. So while the OnePlus 6T wasn't able to make a comeback in the first lap, it was able to finish it just 9 seconds later with a time of 1 minute and 56 seconds, putting it in position to possibly make a comeback here in the second lap, where we know that the iPhone and its 4GB of RAM can't quite keep all of the apps open at the end. Of course, that may not even matter considering the amount of cushion that the iPhone was able to build for itself. But either way, this one is likely going to come down to the wire, where as expected, the iPhone fails to keep Starbucks open, and surprisingly, the OnePlus 6T fails to keep Excel open, allowing the iPhone to cruise to the finish line with a total time of 2 minutes and 28 seconds, with the OnePlus 6T and its whopping 8GB of RAM also failing to keep Word and Starbucks open, but it did manage to keep Facebook open, finishing the test 18 seconds later with a time of 2 minutes and 46 seconds, making the winner and new PhoneBuff style speed test champ the iPhone XS max. In case you're wondering, we ran this test over and over, and we even waited for the OnePlus 6T to receive a couple of software updates and ran the test again, and the results here were consistent. Anyways, that is it for me in this video. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the very next episode.